Welcome to the Paradinks. We're a Paradinks on microphones.
That joke stinks.
But you rhymed it.
I know, because you couldn't.
Yeah.
Hi, honey.
That's for sure.
If someone, honey, decides to come and lay on me.
I don't know. She wants to be part of the podcast, but she doesn't know how to speak English, so she can't really participate.
Sometimes she'll make sounds. Sorry.
We're recording this late at night, so there's some yawning.
We couldn't decide what to talk about, to be honest. So we're not going to talk about anything. We're just going to
riff and see where it goes. And we're currently waiting on some pizza pops.
Tell them the people. Okay.
You know, like this is one of my favorite things about being an adult, I'm not going to lie, is that you can buy like all of your childhood dream foods anytime, at any moment.
Yeah.
And you can have them whenever you want. If you want pizza pops for breakfast, you can have pizza pops for breakfast.
So
if you want them for lunch, you can have them for lunch. You want them for dinner, you can have them. If you want them for all three, you can have them for all three.
I love pizza pops. I really do. I just do. And so yesterday we were at Costco and I grabbed the 32-piece box.
The Costco size box.
Yeah. Extremo.
Mm-hmm.
Bacon and pepperoni. And I don't feel like it's extreme. It tastes like it doesn't seem overwhelming. I think it's the same amount as a normal.
You know, I'll be honest, it tastes like a really shitty calzone.
It's a pizza pop, duh. It's not supposed to be good. Like, best quality. Pillsbury.
Exactly.
But still hits the spot. I'm huge for junk food.
Well, I never grew up with much junk food. So to me, the junk foods were always these imaginary foods that existed on television ads, and we didn't have cable or anything. We had the 12 public access channels. So that's all I ever knew about the world. So
you didn't get, or did you get to see oh my God, toaster strudel and Pop-Tart commercial?
Not really.
Oh my God.
Yeah. We, I think it wasn't until I was about, oh man, when did we move to 11 or 12? We moved to Washington, D.C., and we lived in rental apartments and townhouses. And those came with cable TV subscription. And that was the first time I was ever aware, I guess, of the commercial world.
Oh, you were lucky. Now YouTube has commercials.
I know.
They call them ads.
They drive me crazy. I want to throw my shoe through the television every time an ad comes on.
Stop it! Stop biting me! I clotheslined her when she bit my hand, so I put my hand in, at her neck, and her tongue was just like... But every once in a while, she just bites, and she thinks she's being sweet right now because she's all curled up. So I put my hand down gently, and she's like, ah!
Yeah, she has that kitten play energy.
It hurts. Her teeth are sharp.
I know. She's bitten me too.
Anyways.
Not purpose. A playful bite to all you animal people.
I can smell
it's a playful bite.
I can smell pizza pops.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but anyhow, it was, not until almost my teenage years that I became aware of.
Commercials are terrible.
So many of those things.
They would get to the fucking point of things and not try to make... Sometimes, the stories they put together don't make any sense about what they're trying to sell.
Totally.
So why the fuck?
I don't know, they're just trying. It's like throwing spaghetti at a wall.
Bears do not use toilet paper.
Well, they might if they knew about Charmin and saw the ad.
It's so stupid. Bears are not blue.
Yeah, well, I don't know. To me, that always seems to be the logic of the advertisement. Where they're like, well, I don't know, if people heard us say it this way, maybe they would buy the thing and believe us. And I go, maybe. It seems really weird to base your whole existence off of that, though.
Who decided that that's how commercials should be? Who are the people that are actually
John F. Kennedy's dad.
taking into account? Huh?
Well, JFK's dad got started in advertising. That was how he started their family fortune.
Oh, so you're blaming it on him.
I'm
This
just
is how
saying.
commercials should be.
Yeah. Well, there was an old story about him. He met with some ad guy in New York, and he showed the basically whatever the template is for pretty much all advertising we still currently use.
Well,
He was
that's
one of the first
outdated.
people to like tap into the, I guess, the psychology of people and to kind of disrupt your psychological thinking to like create this desire for a product, like
Desire,
to
not anger.
Well, what's the idea? Like a lot of modern advertising is around the idea of show people that there's a problem, make them aware that, oh my God, there's this problem I didn't know I had, or maybe this problem that I know I have, and then wow, this person has a solution for that, and look how great it is, and oh my gosh, it's totally worth it for me to buy that.
Okay, well, I can understand that if you lay it out that way properly. But when you have a blue bear using TP, that's like just unrealistic, period. So it makes no sense to me. And that's just one example.
It's true.
But if we go back to like 90s commercials, I can't really talk much about them, but I'm thinking about the Gushers one at this point, and it just being like, for some reason I remember a fishbowl.
Yeah, they had those wide angle
Oh my
lenses.
God, baby bottle pop. Baby bottle pop. Oh my God, I think that might even be the jingle. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. I wonder what kids' commercials look like now.
I don't know. I think they're atrocious.
Probably.
Yeah, I remember in high school, my best friend in high school, he had a younger brother who was, younger stepbrother, and he was like, God, 12 years younger than us or something.
Oh.
So like he was in, elementary school when we were finishing high school. And, he'd come home and he'd put on shows and be watching stuff. And, like I remember even SpongeBob, which was a show I grew up watching.
Yeah.
And then I would watch finally at season whatever that he was watching. The show was unrecognizable to me.
Yeah.
It was like, I don't know what this is. I wouldn't watch this show.
What did they do different?
The character was different. The voicing was different. The stories, the dramas, they were a lot different. Like at the beginning, I pretty much only ever watched seasons 1 through 3. And most of that show was, SpongeBob, like, he's a fry cook. And it's the troubles of a fry cook and kind of a meeker person and their experience around more dominant personas. I guess is the way to describe it. And
That's
then
funny.
as it got further out, like, because I remember even when my friend's stepbrother was young, suddenly it became a thing where like, oh, no, SpongeBob is homosexual, and like there became all of this
Get
other stuff
outta here.
around him versus the version I was watching had nothing to do with any of that kind of social construct stuff. It was like, here's a person essentially, right? Because that's
Yeah.
I guess how we take in cartoons and things, right? Like we take them to mean this is what a personal experience of the world is like. Who works kind of a menial job, who's a bit of a, a beta person, if you will, or a, just not a very authoritative figure, although would have his moments and his things. And that's what I think was cool about it, where you would see a SpongeBob who, okay, yeah, he's a fry cook and he doesn't aspire to, quote, much beyond that. But a fucking ruthless jellyfisher. And like, had all these other strengths.
Yeah.
And I think that's what was awesome about it versus when you you watched it later and you felt like, wow, you're just playing into stereotypes and not really showing me anything new or
Yeah.
intriguing or rewarding.
That's deep, Jake.
I know. I'm sorry. We had this conversation just before we went on here where I'd go deep, but I don't know that I've gone deep. Like, to me, they're just thoughts that I have. And then people tell me that's deep. And I go, oh, shit, I'm sorry.
I don't know.
I didn't mean to
can
take
we
us
just
there.
make it sort of brainless here and just funny? And then all of a sudden we're talking about not where I thought SpongeBob was going.
Okay, but can I say, though?
Of course, please.
My favorite thing was in the SpongeBob movie when they had a whole scene that was SpongeBob and Patrick getting wasted at the ice cream bar. And like legitimately wasted. Like you watch this and you're like, I don't know the difference between this and Jackass movies. 'Cause these guys are getting fucked up on ice cream.
Yeah, well, have you seen Dumbo?
No.
You've never seen Dumbo?
No.
Pink elephants?
No.
Pink elephants. Dumbo.
I mean, like,
Dumbo
I think
drinks.
I saw the first one like when I was
So
a tiny little tot.
yeah,
But I don't remember it.
Dumbo and Timothy Mouse drink champagne out of a barrel. I think it's champagne.
Oh no.
Where at the circus where the people are drinking it. And I used to think they were just drinking soap, like soapy water, because all the bubbles.
Yes.
We'll have to watch this after. We'll have a little cry and a little laugh at the same time. I remember that, but then I found out it's alcohol.
Oh my god.
So obviously alcohol.
Yeah.
And then he thinks about pink elephants. Pink elephants on parade. And it's fucking wacky. Yeah, that movie's
funny.
from like the 40s or something.
I know. It's so funny in a way how so many of those old films had, and not even that old, I guess, like, because even SpongeBob, that was early 2000s, they were still doing that. But like these warnings or these cultural,
Somebody
I guess,
got mad.
reflections and stuff, yeah.
It's
like,
so yeah, which brings the cancel culture. It's really silly. It's you can't.
it stifles
That's too
an
much
honest
of a
dialogue.
conversation. That
But yeah.
is not the conversation I wanted to have right now. I want to keep it light because I'm actually quite tired and I was not going to engage. Jake was supposed to run this show tonight, so I could just be like, yeah, ha ha ha, yeah, okay. That's not happening.
Yeah, don't let Jake run the light show. Jake won't keep it light.
Well, did you know that Pokemon, they have Pokemon cards coming out again now?
No shit.
I think you can actually get them at McDonald's or something with kids meals toys.
We might have to go to McDonald's.
We'll have to pretend. How about we go through the drive-through and as we get to the window, you can be like, "Hold on, look in the back seat. We'll bring honey.
Yeah.
We want all the cards." But then now it feels like nothing is meaningful anymore when shit like that goes on for so long. I was talking to somebody recently about that Pokemon was going on, and I'm like, I remember the first season of Pokemon came out in 1998. I was 8. And that person's like, I was born in 1999. And I'm like, oh, fuck, I can't talk to anybody these days. Because it seems like I'm always talking to the people that are like retardedly younger than me. I say that as in because I don't know if I mentioned this the other day that another time we were at creatives and cocktails thing, and there was a Harry Potter Hogwarts stuff poster up there, and I was just reading it. It had named all the wands, the Horcrux, and all these things that I can't even. So I was just
kind of like a Wikipedia article.
I was just, going over what I didn't really know. And then a girl came up to me and we were talking. And I'm like, well, we ended up talking about Lord of the Rings. She hadn't seen Lord of the Rings. And I'm like, oh, well, the Lord of the Rings and the Harry Potters and the Star Wars came around that 2001 time, blah, blah, blah. And she's like, I was born in 2002. I'm like, oh my fucking Christ. How does this happen? Like,
Right.
Maybe it's because people think I'm 24.
Yeah, which is a great compliment.
That is nice, but also...
hold on to that as long as you can.
I'm wondering why. Do I just exude no kids? I don't know.
I think it's an energy. It's a spirit. It's an enthusiasm for the things that made you feel alive and excited.
But I laugh because it's our generation that started all these crazy collectible obsessing over games and movies and stuff. I mean, there's always been movie fans, but as that stuff got more available and more abundance of, we and technology, like, we are the ones that benefited from it at an early time. And so it is our generation that is all wrapped up in that. And it's like these babies coming up thinking they're like, I know what you're talking about. and so I think I'm fair to be all up in there, loving on the shit that I was 11 watching.
Yeah.
And then it just feels weird.
Totally. But it makes me think in a way of, so like when we were, oh my God, I had to be less than 10 years old. Yeah. I can't remember, but somewhere between 7 to 10 years old. And they reissued the original Star Wars trilogy in like the special edition with new effects and
because
blah, blah, blahs.
They came out with
stuff, right?
The new ones, right? The episode 1, 2, 3?
This is before that.
Okay.
This is like, it was still the first,
if you say...
what's now called, I guess, 4 through 4, 6, or sorry, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah. But if you say you were 10, that would have been around the time where like Phantom...
But it was the late 90s. No, it was just before. So like a few years before that. They came out with these new special edition ones with new effects and all this. And they were released on a VHS. And but they did a theatrical run. Because I remember we went to the theaters and they had Return of the Jedi playing in the movie theater.
Cool.
In town. And it makes me have a similar feeling, right? I can understand where the younger generations behind us feel like they're discovering something new or feel really intrigued by something that's been around for a while, but it's the first time they've experienced it, because that's totally how I felt about the Star Wars films back then. Or even Godzilla, right? Where I'm like, oh, like what Matthew Broderick and Jean Reno version came out back then.
I like that one too.
Yeah, it was my brother and I fucking love that film.
I love Matthew Broderick though.
Yeah. Cool story. We got to meet the redheaded guy who played the FBI agent that comes and pulls Matthew Broderick in from the worm site.
I can't recall the face.
Oh, well, if you're watching the beginning of the movie, it's like when we first meet Matthew Broderick, he's out in this rainstorm. And he's putting some electrodes in the dirt, and then he turns on this battery to him, and like all these earthworms start crawling up, and he's plucking them out. And then there's like these FBI guys roll up, and there's this redheaded guy who rolls in. He's like, "Are you Dr. Topopopopoulos or something?" Because everyone mispronounces his name in the movie, and that's a running joke. And yeah, and he answers that. And so we had been out I think at Long Beach in Tofino, and that guy was in Vancouver filming for something. And my brother and I were on this rock, and that guy goes up there, and we were talking with him, and my dad came up and joined us, and then it came out that he was that guy in that movie, and we were like, oh my fucking God. Like, we lost our shit because we were little. We're like 11 or 10 or something.
For sure.
Yeah.
Celebrity.
Yeah, you're like, oh my God, you had a 4-second part in that movie? You're like the coolest person I've ever met.
Yeah. Speaking of celebrity... I am so close to regretful about, because Elijah Woods was here.
Yeah.
In
right
May,
when we moved here.
In May.
Yeah.
at a Comic-Con in Calgary. And I said that I wouldn't buy tickets. I would be smart and spend money on the house. Things we needed on the house. And now I feel so sad about that because he's been my childhood crush forever. Like, obsessed. And when he was Frodo, oh, yeah, I got to know everything about him. And still love him.
I'm sad that I didn't buy us tickets for that.
I'm sad that you, yeah. I mean, you're pretty good at making calls like that and just doing it if you... Yeah. It's like okay. We had just got here, but I'm really sad about that.
Let that be a lesson to all of you listeners.
Yeah.
Just do it.
Yeah, if you have a chance to meet like one of your idols, fucking do it. Fuck money.
Whatever it is. Anything you want to do,
anything,
just do it.
Yes.
Forget about it. The money will figure itself out.
Yeah.
And you know what? If you die and you haven't paid it off, then you know what? You're dead and it's not your problem.
Yeah. Yeah. That was sad.
Oh, I know that's not responsible. Don't take money advice from Jake. That's my advice. I will always tell you to do the thing. Live. Forget about money.
Honestly, I mean, we're still able to live and do the things.
We are. But, you know, everyone's different. Everyone's unique. Everyone has their thing. I don't want to tell other people how to live, but that's my philosophy within my own life is I'll figure it out. And it generally works out. And even when it doesn't, it's not as bad as I thought. So.
Okay. Pack it in.
Anyhows, yeah.
I meant like pack it up, come back out of that.
Yeah.
You're digging deeper and deeper.
I know. Sorry, I had to pack a lesson in there. But anyhow, celebrity-wise, interesting question though. Who's what's been your favorite celebrity meeting? Or like, who's the most celebrity person you've met?
Okay, so, well, what's his name? I always forget. Maybe we need to share that photo too. Who's Draco Malfoy in Harry Potter? Tom.
Yeah.
Tom something.
Yeah.
He was at the Vancouver Fan Expo. Well, I thought you were going to look for... You look for the name while I talk.
I was, and then, okay.
He was at the Fan Expo in, I want to say like 2016 or something. 2016 sounds about right. Wow, so long ago?
2016?
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah, I think it was that long ago.
That's wild.
Because that's when, I went with my cousins and
Tom Felton.
Okay, that's what I thought, but I didn't want to. It didn't.
You had the Tom right.
It also didn't sound right at the same time.
Yeah, it's all right.
So that's the guy I met. We had a picture with him, so we didn't actually meet because that actually doesn't happen. When you're getting photos.
Mm-hmm. Well, describe to me what's that process? I've never experienced that.
Oh, you wait in a long lineup and then you get a picture taken and you get to say hi, like a quick second, pose for a picture, and then you're escorted away.
Wow.
Yeah, you're not supposed to talk to them unless you buy something separate to talk to them.
Weird.
Yeah, 2016. Nice.
Nice.
Here's the picture.
You gotta put that on our Instagram.
Look at me.
Nice.
I look really cute too.
What are you wearing?
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like baseball kind of
on
jersey.
There, and Megan and a tiny little Jackson.
And then Trina is Megan's best friend.
Yeah. That's
and she's a huge Harry Potter fan, so she's the one that really wanted to do that. So we all just decided to do it too.
Is he wearing a Flash? Is he wearing a Flash necklace?
Because he was also the Flash.
What?
In some version of whatever.
Hilarious. Yeah, look at that. Ninja Turtles.
But it wasn't like, I didn't really I don't know. I didn't really care that much, and I think it didn't really matter.
Hmm.
See the green in my hair there, like that. I look cute. Oh my god, it was like 6 years ago now. Holy fuck!
Yeah.
And now look,
Now it's 6 years later.
haggard.
Fuck off. You are not.
Yeah. I think I might have seen Good Charlotte and Hillary Duff at Disneyland in 2004
Wow.
for like a brief second. I remember them walking by and remember like looking out for them for the rest of the time because 2004 I liked Good Charlotte.
Who didn't? They fucking rocked in 2004. And they still rock. I'll fucking back them up.
No, I think 2 of their songs are okay.
Yeah, whatever.
And then there was another chick I had seen
They
at
still rock.
Disneyland in 2012.
2012.
What's her name?
Well, I got to work with Hillary Duff's sister, Haley Duff.
Oh, are you going to tell that story now?
I don't know. Not really. It's an embarrassing one on my part, but I'll tell it anyway.
This chick. Hold on. Scout Taylor Compton, who was in like Rob Zombie's Halloween movies.
I love Rob Zombie.
You'd recognize her.
Maybe.
She was at Disneyland. Saw her coming off a roller coaster. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Nothing special. It was nothing special. I mean, I'm not really that star-studded.
Studded?
Stunned. Star-stunned?
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Starstruck?
Stun-struck. Whatever. All that same shit.
Yeah.
Next, that doesn't look like her.
Well, right on.
But tell us your story about...
About Haley Duff?
Sure.
Well, the first thing I remember from that was that don't mix her up with Hillary or she'll get really mad. That's what people told us. But it was on a Hallmark movie of the week kind of thing. So it's where you shoot a feature film in like 2 weeks and it goes on the Hallmark movies. It's kind of a catch-all term that we use for any kind of film that's shot in 2 weeks or so.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. I don't know how people like I don't know. Anyways. The thing I remember about that one was it was one of the last films that we were doing because we were doing 6 of those films back to back. So it was like 8 weeks of just making these, I'll be honest, crummy films.
Of course, Hallmark,
Crummy
you just
films.
said.
Oh my God. Like,
they're shot in 2 weeks, guys.
Good. Yeah, you make a
They
film in
look
2
like
weeks.
they've been shot in 2 weeks.
You know what's going to happen from the minute you read the first words.
Yeah.
And but I remember in this one there was a pivotal scene in the middle of the movie where Haley Duff was the wife of some kind of psychopathic husband guy. But there was a scene where he was going to give her some special necklace, and so we had to
you're
stay.
talking about your...
Yeah, this was that one.
The boo-boo.
Yeah, this is
I
where
thought you were
messed
just
up.
talking about Haley. Okay.
No, I had great things to say about Haley. She was wonderful to work
okay.
with. It was my fuck up.
Oh, okay,
And
okay.
me and the wardrobe
Sorry.
girl fucked up. And
Continue.
yeah, between the two of us, we were trying to help each other keep on track of when she was supposed to have this certain necklace on and when she wasn't, because it was like there's this scene where that necklace is given to her. If it's after the scene she has it on, before it she doesn't. And so we would...
Are you going to explain what that was?
No, we'll keep going. And but anyhow, we're shooting some scene, and I remember we somehow messed up because we're going to shoot the scene where she's putting it on, or where he's putting the necklace on her. And Haley said something like, well, I just had this necklace in that scene, and wasn't that before this or after it? And then, like, the whole production got thrown into fucking chaos. And the director gets all pissed, and he's screaming at me and the wardrobe lady, and, like, all of us are just kind of like, oh, my God. And I stopped caring because it's a
That
Hallmark
is,
film and you're getting paid
yeah.
$200 a day to be there for 18 fucking hours and you just don't care.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure.
Well, it's just the way the mistake is handled, right?
That's what I mean.
Becomes just ridiculous. And you go, okay, because not to mention there's no time given to you to keep on top of shit. But anyhow, I had a lot of good memories with her, and then that one poor memory is just kind of sullied the whole experience. But I will still always say great things about Haley because she was wonderful.
Well,
She was a delight to work with, and it
you
was just everyone around that production that ruined that experience.
you've met a lot of people because you worked in oopsie. You worked in movies. So I mean, like we could be here for a while talking about who you met.
Yeah, I've got a lot of cool
I have a
celebrity
question for
encounters.
you quickly though.
Yeah, sure.
What was that sound? What did
Which
you
sound?
just do? What was that sound you made in between in the middle of your you
Oh, as a cat?
y-
Okay, so the cat right now, the thing with Honey, she's got a bit of a like chewing on fabric and eating blankets fetish. So we're working on curbing that behavior. And, step one, of course, is to hide as many of the things that she likes to chew on, which we do. But, we also like to use blankets to keep warm
Yeah,
and like
I'm
live our
covered-
life. So we're not going to stop
covered in
doing
a
that
blanket
fucking
right
shit.
now?
So Chantel has a blanket on, and it's one that Honey has. Well, yeah, she's kind of chewed on,
She
but
just
it's the one that
started,
she's
yeah.
chewed on the least of all of them. So something I read was, you can squirt with water bottles, which I had done with cats previously, but you could also hiss at them like a cat will. You know how cats hiss when they're mad and angry, and it actually works quite well. So whenever I see her doing something that's not cool and that we don't want her to do, when, or chewing on something that she shouldn't be chewing on, I give her a good aggressive hiss, like
Yeah.
I'm an angry mama cat or something, and she stops. Works
Yeah.
really good.
And you do a good job with that.
Yeah, but you have to do it really like forcefully and aggressively, and I think the most important thing we've read is just as long as you're not physically abusive and you're not like you don't continue it, it's like the behavior stops, then you just resume your normal behavior as a human being with your cat, then it's good.
Yeah.
It's just you have to reprimand the cat and say, hey, like that behavior is not acceptable. But once you stop it, okay, you're good.
Yeah, the
And go
problem
back.
is she's been doing it when we can't see.
Yeah, but it seems so far she's been good because we've hidden a lot of it away and we haven't noticed any other things being eaten up. So
Yeah, we locked her out of her room at night because that's where we have the least control. And she'll come snuggle for a bit and then she'll hide underneath the bed and suck holes in our blankets. The blankets that are hanging over the bed.
has she on the blue one?
The blue one?
Yeah,
What blue one?
the one that's on there right now.
On the bed?
Yeah.
There's a blue blanket on the bed?
Yeah, the cotton one that you put back on there.
I didn't put it on the bed.
Yeah, we slept on. Oh my gosh. We have your cheetah print one, and there's the blue.
That is so totally white, man.
Whatever.
That is a white
It was
blanket.
blue when I bought it. I always call it blue.
Okay, you totally threw me off. There's
Sorry.
a white blue. To me, it's white.
Yeah.
Maybe it's like a very light blue.
Anyhow,
I don't
have
think
you noticed that on hers? Okay.
I don't think so. Since we first saw it, that's the one that she was eating underneath the bed. But since she's been kicked out and we closed the door during the day too, I haven't seen anything new.
Yeah.
But it's frustrating because we're worried about her health. Like she's actually swallowing pieces. So if anybody new that we don't know listens to this and has any idea, any suggestions, we've learned it's called Pica syndrome. Please let us know. But anyways,
I should say, from what we know, it can be caused by stress, which, she's gone through a lot of moves in the past, 2 or 3 months that we know about, and we don't really know her history before that since she showed up at
maybe
friend's
she
house.
was weaned from her mom too early.
Yeah, could have been weaned early. Like, there's kind of a lot of unknowns as well. So
Habit.
But
we're trying to make sure that doesn't become a habit.
yeah, we just don't want to continue from here on out for the sake of our blankets and for the
Clothes
sake of
as
her
well.
digestive tract.
She's gone through some
Because
clothes.
it's not good for cats to eat those things. So, yeah. But, you know, if that's like her only flaw, it's pretty good.
That's a big ass one. That's a big fucking deal. By the way, our air fryer is screaming pizza pops.
We got some pizza pops.
So I think that we should just stop.
Yeah, that sounds good.
I think that's long enough.
All right, we're going to go
for tonight.
snack.
Thanks.
All right, thanks for listening. Bye.
Bye.